Good afternoon, good afternoon. It's been a few days since I did the first one of these, so I figured I'd go ahead and spin up another quick news video. Not going to be a whole lot to talk about, just kind of stuff related to the Anime Expo promo and some details regarding that. And then after that, I figured I'd just briefly touch on a few of the Heroes Clash teaser notes, just to call a few of them out. So yeah, this weekend, still ongoing, there's the Anime Expo in Los Angeles, and at that expo, you will be able to get a special convention-exclusive Balmite promo and playmat. This is Balmite version 1. It is not an All Might character, it is a Balmite character. And it's got some pretty funny art with a baseball in the shape of All Might. You can see it in the picture above. Some baseball theming going on. And yeah, so this is a convention exclusive to go along with the premiere of some sort of a baseball OVA for MHA. Kind of just a fun little side story OVA that they're releasing on Crunchyroll and Funimation on August 1st. I believe there are 2 OVAs coming out at that time, so you can check those out in a few weeks if you weren't at the expo. And yeah, so along with the promo character, there is also a playmat with basically the same art on it and the smash, and yeah. Pretty wild, pretty funny. People seem to be enjoying it. However, this is a convention exclusive. You can only get it at Anime Expo. You cannot get it at anywhere that is not Anime Expo. So, aside from people who went there and people who have some friends who go there who bought it from someone that's selling on eBay or whatever, this is it. This is all there's going to be. As such, it is not tournament legal, because Jasco's not that cruel. So they're going to look into some other way to make it available. What they've alluded to is probably putting the same text on a different card. So I'm guessing an All Might version 5 or something like that, or some, I don't know, generic baseball player figure, or who knows what. But they'll come out with something that fits into MHA, I guess, that they'll be able to put this card text on and figure out a way to make that available. Once they do that, this card will be legal. But until then, it's sort of just a collector's piece. Can be fun to play some side games with. Maybe if you're in the area of Anime Expo, maybe those locals will let people play it or something like that. But yeah, so you have some time to either try to get this if you really want this specific one, or to wait to see, what the other one is, what that card looks like or whatever. Not a whole lot else going on besides that. We did get a little bit of a tidbit in the Discord. There is going to be some kind of GenCon promo. It sounds like, again, this is not a formal announcement. This is just something that was mentioned by a staffer in passing. They seem every bit as excited about this as they were about the Balmite. So we'll see what that is in 5 weeks. GenCon is only 5 weeks away. It's coming up fast. And yeah, so that's it for the news. Some upcoming events. I'm not going to go into these too much because I did them last time, but yeah, Orlando's coming up this coming weekend. I will be there. Looks like 187 signups so far, and then got the Toronto Provisional, the Ace Maneuvers event, GenCon, and the Provisional after GenCon. There's still no signups for those two. I'll continue to put the signup links in the description so that people can find them, because some of these are a little bit tricky to find. Namely, the Toronto one specifically, I think is just on Carta Magica's website right now. Yeah, so that'll round it up for the quick news updates, and then yeah, just gonna touch on these teasers a little bit ahead of preview season. Preview season, I'm assuming, is going to start either Tuesday, right after Jazz goes back from the 4th of July weekend, or we could see the first previews on the coverage for the Orlando Regional. That's something they might do, or we'll just see them next week. Probably somewhere in the next 5 to 10 days, we'll start seeing previews, I would assume, given the timing of this article. Yeah, I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm just going to sort of touch on ones that seem relevant, seem like that are almost certainly relevant. Like, obviously, any of these could be on a card that's really good. But the first thing that jumps out to me is that we're going to get a cycle of foundations that destroy a foundation for cost. There are some symbols that really need something like this just to stay out of deadlock. There are some symbols that maybe they have a brute strength or whatever, but the character doesn't really want to be playing that card, or maybe they wish they had something on a spam. We don't know what the difficulty of these foundations is going to be. If these are spam, if every symbol's getting a self-sacrifice, that's going to be a pretty nice development. If they're 2 diffs, it's going to depend on what they do. In terms, there's not a whole lot else here that you can read a whole lot into or down here. But the game text on cards, obviously these are specific effects. We can talk a little bit about some of these. They're showing off some new deadlock abilities. Here, there's a big focus on deadlock abilities. There's like 4 of them here. And it looks like they're kind of just trying to show off that they're making deadlock abilities a little bit stronger. Some of these are a little more impactful than some of the throw-on deadlock abilities we've seen on cards in set 1 and 2. But they're not like power curving them really, right? And none of these are like better than the best deadlock abilities. There's just going to be more good ones, it looks like, is what they're trying to make the point here. I don't know if any of these are necessarily going to stop someone from going into deadlock, but they should help round out the game once the game hits that state. This is almost certainly on an attack. Commit a foundation for a damage and an EX rating for all of your foundations. You can just keep doing it. We've seen some symbols have a bunch of foundations that ready themselves and a relatively easy time readying foundations, so if this shares with those cards, that's going to be notable. Even if it doesn't, we could see this playing a bit of a Cannon Blast roll depending on what kind of card it's on. Like, it could be on a 7 difficulty attack and then it doesn't matter, right? But if this is on anything reasonable, you could see this as like that 2x include for that long game reach of just, disrupt this or you're taking 10 or something, or whatever the number ends up being. So this sounds like something that can have some kind of an impact. This guy, discard a momentum for -3 speed. Simple, pretty good, a little bit better than Cool Student on defense. We've seen some decks that are pretty happy to play Cool Student just to help them block. This will be in that vein. We'll see if this shares with Denki 2 specifically. That'd be really good for him. And the last thing I just wanted to call out was this guy. Discard a card, this attack gets 1 speed and stun 1. If this is on an attack, it's whatever. Just about it. I don't care if this ability is on an attack. That attack will be judged on its merits. But if this is on a foundation of some kind, I just want to make the point, if you're newer to Universus, if you're just coming in with MHA, foundations with enhanced discard a card, get something that helps my chain get over the top, have a pretty good history in this game. They are almost always relevant. They don't necessarily show up in every deck or anything, but there's almost always like at least 1 or 2 decks for each of these cards that have shown up that are really putting it to good use. So I'd keep an eye out for that if this is on a foundation. I'm really interested to see what symbols it has, if so, because there are some symbols, like Earth, that have problems with this, I think. That would really want to see an effect like this on a foundation somewhere, just to sort of help them get through. So I just want to point that out, because, people who start... I don't think we've had anything quite like this in MHA yet. And I just want to say, this is probably going to be pretty good. Unless it's just on an attack, but it'd be weird for this to be on an attack and to not be previewed, but I guess that's part of the tricksiness of what they get to do here, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to cover for this. Just wanted to make some quick comments and didn't want to make like a whole separate video for it just yet. We'll see. Once we get into spoilers, I might make separate little spoiler comment videos, but this didn't really seem to warrant it, so I'm just touching on it here. So yeah. Hope this is useful. Hope this keeps people up to date if there were any details about the Balmite promo that you did miss. And yeah, we'll see when we do the next one. Maybe right before I leave for Orlando or something, I'll spin up another one if we hear anything during the week. But yeah, till then, see you next time.